The bodily injury liability protection is the perfect pair for any car insurance policy. If you're involved in an accident that's not your fault, this policy can help you out a lot. It will cover the expenses you lost in case of an accident. The expenses that will be covered by the bodily injury liability protection are medical, funeral, and household services. This policy is definitely a lot of help. In fact, it doesn't really matter whether you are at fault or not. As long as you have bodily injury liability coverage, the policy will cover for your expenses when you are unable to work. What about health insurance? Won't that suffice? Some say that health insurance will be fine. However, with just that you won't be compensated for the money that you lost because you were unable to work. Only your hospitalization will be covered. But if you have bodily injury liability protection, there's no need to worry. With the health insurance, you'll find out that you'll still be paying for the late medical treatments like chiropractic sessions and therapies. Also, most health insurance policies will only cover one person and not families, so your family has no protection if ever an accident happens. In fact, you will still get the bodily injury liability protection anyway because it is required in all states. However, the payout will vary from state to state. What's good about bodily injury protection is the fact that it can still be used in case of accidents involving bicycles or pedestrians. The policy also states that nobody's at a fault. This means that no time will be wasted on legal processes determining whose fault it is. It also means that you'll get the money immediately because there'll be no more investigations. Of course, there are always exceptions. If the injuries are very severe or if a death is involved, then investigations and lawsuits are allowed. Be keen on your driving habits because this will determine how important the bodily injury liability protection is to you. If you're always the one who is driving people around in your office, then the policy is of great importance to you. This is because if you only have health insurance, your passengers are not covered by that. They are your passengers and you are responsible for them because you are the driver. You'll have to ask them about it or advise them to get one. However, with personal injury protection, you and all you passengers are covered. In case an accident occurs, you're all protected. Basically, there are a few things that will determine whether or not you need personal injury liability coverage. First of all, it's where you live. Of course, there might be a chance that the state you live in does not require the policy. However, the policy will certainly do you a lot of good. Second are your driving habits. If you are constantly driving around fast and have a lot of passengers, then you should really get some insurance. Third is your employment. Just like the second factor, if your job requires you to drive people around, then the policy will do you a lot of good. Fourth is your health. If you are young and don't have a lot of health security, then you should apply for the insurance. Of course, there are also personal matters and existing policies that will determine whether or not you should apply. There you have it. I hope you have learned something from the article. The policy is very important and I hope that you see its importance. The bodily injury liability protection is one of the most helpful insurance policies out there. Learn more about it at Bodily Injury Liability Coverage. Share this video and subscribe for more interesting auto insurance tips.